Welcome back, Minties, to another segment of
Reviews in a Flash.
With your host, the amazing Omar, the amazing Amanda. And
he wanted to say it, I guess.
I wanted to, because the uncanny... Anyway, Uncanny Omar. And this segment of Reviews in a Flash is brought to you by...
Darkstar 916.
So thank you, Darkstar. Today we are talking about Avengers, Volume 1, The Final Host. It always feels weird when I say Volume 1. So when I do a comprehensive reading order, I'll be happy to show you guys where this belongs.
Yeah.
But today we're doing a spoiler-free review. This is written by Jason Aaron, art by Kicking It Off with Sarah Pacelli, and...
For Free Comic Book Day issue. Mm-hmm.
And then the first 6 issues is collected here. It's got art by Ed McGuiness and Paco Medina.
Yep.
It kicks off with the Free Comic Book Day, and it's kind of a flashback of how Odin had his own team.
Original Avengers, like a million years ago.
Which
is really cool.
I mean, the premise has been done before with the X-Men and
it was
Avengers
interesting
and
seeing
Fantastic
like
Four.
Versions of our characters, but like a savage version of our characters, if you will.
And godlike, cosmic versions of our characters,
yes.
But whatever. Sure. So what happened a million years ago that brought this team together?
So what brought this team together is the first celestial host had come down, and basically our original Millennia Avengers had to fight said host.
Yep. They put him on the ground.
Put them on the ground.
A million years later, the 3 Avengers of Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man are sitting around at a bar about how, hey,
we should do this again.
Kick off the Avengers again.
Yeah.
And Tony, of course, is being hesitant.
Yeah,
it's like, I've been there, done that. I just got out of a coma because Bendis. And so now, why is this team formed? Well, this group of things that are killing Celestials are coming into play.
Yes.
Right? So the Avengers are like, okay, we got to put a stop to this. So much like previous issues of Avengers, they don't want to come together, but they have to. So
because
we have
something bigger's at play.
Right. So we have Captain Marvel, we have Doctor Strange, we have Black Panther, She-Hulk, and Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, who's kind of new to all this. I think everyone besides him has been an Avenger at one point or another. Right. So they're brought together by these new villains, and they're called the Final Host, the name of the book. And they have to fight them off in really intriguing and unique ways, I think, especially towards the end. Now, let's talk about the artwork. The artwork here, like I mentioned, it kicks off with Sarah Pacelli. For some reason, I like this look of Sarah Pacelli's artwork more than I enjoyed her Fantastic Four run that we reviewed before.
It's a little bit more smoother almost, or more defined, I guess.
I like the way she draws Loki.
Yeah.
But, that's only, 7-8 pages. The main meat of the story of this sandwich is Ed McGuiness.
Yeah.
And Ed McGuiness has always had this big chin, big eye anime style. But it works. I really like his art. It takes a while to grow on me, but it's got that classic big chin look to the heroes. And I find it interesting that I found a hard time sometimes telling who was who between him and Paco Medina, who is also the artist on the book.
Yes, because he does the last 3 issues, I believe.
Well, no, they both do.
Oh, they both do.
So sometimes it's Paco Medina, sometimes it's...
Well, I didn't notice a lot of difference between the artwork, so it's almost
and I'm sure
if they wanted to...
I want to say that might have something to do with the colors or the inker. Mark Morales, that's who it is.
No, well, I think that's what... obviously I'm all about the colors, and... that does help make the artwork seem to all flow together in a similar manner. So it's kind of almost hard to tell.
Yeah, and I think the
where
color...
one begins and the other one ends.
Yeah, so you're right. I think that had a lot to do with it. And, of course, the inker, too. So, how did you feel about the story, the characters, the way they were written?
Well, I mean, the characters, the way they were written, I didn't find it to be too off. None of them seemed to be off character to me. As far as, that's not how they're supposed to be. The story itself was a little hard to get through for me. There was just kind of like, it was a little bit of a drag to get through, which I usually love Jason Aaron stuff. And they do introduce a particular villain that glad to have back, of course, in this as well. And he delivers a really nice, funny line at the end of this, the 5th issue.
I think it's not that much of a spoiler. If you've ever read an Avengers comic.
You always know he comes back.
This is the character that brought them all together in Avengers #1. I found the story a little bit lacking. I'm not sure why. I think I agree with you. It wasn't...
Maybe it's because of what brought them together. Not that the final host is necessarily a bad villain to start off with, but I guess maybe it could have just been...
I mean, a celestial killer should be a badass and kind of scary.
But not in the first 6 issues, maybe?
But for some reason, it just didn't work. I don't know what it was. When the Avengers are thrown together under these unfortunate circumstances... Yeah. It's always a matter of how the story is delivered, whether it's believable or not. And I think it just felt a little forced in this. I don't know. Man, that's my opinion. That's the way I felt about it. I think Jason Aaron's dialogue is on point. Well, I really like the way that he writes everybody. Yeah. But the plot, maybe it dragged on a little too long. I don't know. It was just something was missing. It felt the solution of how they come about kicking the crap out of these final host villains is kind of cool. Like if I was 13, but I don't know. As I'm older now, maybe I'm like, oh, come on, you're wittier than that. You're smarter than that, Tony Stark. So, what would you give this book?
I think I would have to give this a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair grade. I was going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. Okay. It's not it's a bad story. It's actually a fun story, but just one that didn't grab me. Like, I didn't want to rush out. I wouldn't put Avengers Volume 2 at the top of my pile. I mean, obviously I'm going to read it, but it just, I don't know, didn't really click with me that much. So.
Agreed, yeah.
Those are our spoiler-free reviews, and much like every other book in the Marvel line, this is rated T for teen. Just, of course. Goofy little action is pretty much it. So, that being said, the Uncanny Omar signing off here. Amazing Amanda, would you like to...
Yes, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and remember to ring the bell for notification of more great Near Mint condition content. Also, remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at Near Mint Con. Check us out on our Patreon. We do have that now. If you want to support our channel, click the link in our description. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.